So what do you, yeah, like, what do you think about when you think about your destiny versus fate? And is there a difference between like where you are now at your age? Like, do you think that most of your life was because it was destined to be where it is right now? Or do you think everything up until this point happened by fate? Or would you say half and half? Like, what do you even think if it is a percentage?
I think they're like one and the same, honestly. They're like you can because it's like destiny, like like everything you do in life is a decision that you make. You know what I'm saying? So you are essentially like forging, like you're forging your own path. It's just trillions on trillions of just decisions, like within like every millisecond that you just continuously make, which makes up your life. And it's just like if you are consciously making those decisions, then it is more of a I don't think it's more of a fate. It's just more of it's just shit that I don't know. I don't know. All
right, so B, you saying the decisions you make on a day-to-day basis influences your fate at the end, or is your fate just your fate? Is that what it is? That's the stone cold. That's the law. Like that's what's going to happen.
Or, regardless.
Yeah. What?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough question.
I say that. I think. I mean, I think that it's like everybody has a certain path that you was meant to be on. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But through your everyday decision making, it's like kind of like if you were, I'm trying to think of a good way to say it. It's like if you were to move at your most optimal level, then you on your path, but then you also get hit with temptations and decisions that could take you off that. But if you work at your most optimum level, you will meet the fate that you were supposed to reach. But I feel like we have free will per se, or you have the idea, the opportunity to make decisions, because that's what help you grow and learn along the path. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was just like, oh, you have your fate as your fate, then what's the point of thinking? You would just fucking be on autopilot doing what God put you here to be. You know what I'm saying? So you're not supposed to know. You know what I mean? So the decision makings and the so-called free will, that's what gives you the space to learn while going on your path. You know what I'm saying? So because like if it wasn't for that, we'd be born infant babies knowing where we're supposed to go, what we're supposed to do. It wouldn't be no learning. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think that shit means. You know what I'm saying?
That's the key word, free will.
Yeah. Like, what is that?
I mean, I think that's really why God put us here. I feel like this is my point of view. I feel like God's like, this is what I want for you to do, but you have the opportunity to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? But I have all this for you. You can get all this, but you have the freedom to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's why we have. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much why we're here, and you know what I'm saying? To learn not to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? As simple as that. You know what I mean?
Because like you said, Rez, like and Marcus, that free will, like that's like given to you to like you don't know how powerful you are. You know what I'm saying? It's like I want you to tap into that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like I want you to want to do good or reach these potentials or heights or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I'm glad you said like that part when you were talking about you have an option, right? Like you have a choice, and the decisions that you make can either optimize it or lessen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna reference like Obama. Like, who's to say that his choice wouldn't lead him to be like, I mean, I'm just gonna throw something out there, like a fucking like CEO of football or IT company. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking Elon Musk or something like that, rather than the president. You know what I mean? And I think it's several decisions that he made that made him go down that path. Because do you think that he thought at 10 years old that he was going to be the president of the United States? Probably not. But his path you know, and him deciding he was going to go to law school, him deciding that he was going to run for presidency with his wife. Who's to know if he didn't have his wife that he wouldn't have ran for president? So it's crazy. Like I feel like it's a lot of it's we make our optimal decisions, and we could either go parallel, you know what I'm saying, to that decision, or we could go downhill. Cause I know, you know, and I'm this is not a laughing matter, but we used to feed the homeless over there at the Black Hole at the Go-Go spot. And it was a lot of people that I talked to that was like, man, like I was literally like one decision away from, you know what I'm saying, from providing for my whole family and having a Porsche and this and this and that. And he was like, I did this one thing, I used crack one time and I was done. He was like, you know what I'm saying? And I just hear stories like that multiple times. And it's just crazy how one decision can alter like your whole path, you know?
Oh,
but that's so funny if you say that, Paul.
I was gonna say, start my.
Go ahead, you got it. You got it.
Like the funny you say that because I was listening to $1 Million Worth of Game, and Wallow on there said, what he say? He said when he got locked up, OG asked him how many minutes how many minutes got you in here. He's like, what? He's like, how many minutes? You said not how many minutes do you have left on his, you know, his sentence. He said, how many minutes did it take for you to get here? He's like, he did like robbery and that shit took 5 minutes, and 5 minutes like for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shit like that. Yeah, that's stirring the wrong way. Yeah, that can change your fate. But maybe destiny. That's the destiny in return to make it through that shit and come out a better person. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And even within that, like even, you know, like you said, Paul, you see a lot of people with gifts, talents, you know what I'm saying, and they be at the absolute bottom, you know what I'm saying. A lot of it is based off decision making, but even within that, it's like, okay, why you have this super talented person at the bottom because of bad decisions? Like even within that person's fate, there's a lesson for other people that's in their family, other people that may have met that person. That person could be inspiration. Like, damn, like, you know, God gave you a gift, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want to make sure I don't go down that same path. So even that might have been part of their fate. Like, even if they didn't reach their goal, they still, like, you know, can be a lesson for other people to, you know what I'm saying, grow from. But it just goes to show, man, if there's so many people out here that have so many talents and gifts and they don't optimize it, but they was given something that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all have a talent, a gift on some level in some way. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nobody just put you on the earth empty-handed. Like, but you know, just it's up to. I ain't gonna say it's up to us, man. This is a different conversation because environment plays a part. You know what I'm saying? All that plays a part into people reaching their full potential. But yeah, man. You know, decision making is key. Decision making is definitely key, though.
Yeah, we can go all the way.
We could go all the way with this.
I was gonna say that could be, honestly, we could go overtime with this too.
Yeah. And in so many different ways though. So like
Yeah.
So it's 60-40. It ain't 50-50, it's 60-40.
How so?
No, like I was saying, it's like Lighthouse said, at the end of the day, I think the decision making is like number one key. Is the number one key at the end of the day, because you can be destined to do a whole lot of shit, but if you're making shitty ass decisions, you ain't gonna do shit.
All right. So what
you're
if,
not gonna reach your potential? I'm gonna say you're not gonna reach your potential.
What if you don't have the tools at that point in time when certain situations come at you at a certain point in time, and you don't know how to act, you know, this way or that way because you just don't have those tools at that. You know what I mean? You're not mature enough. You're not seasoned enough. So you end up making a wrong decision. Not, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Well then,
but that's the thing. The wrong decision.
At the end of the day, it's still gonna be the same thing. I still think it's 60-40 because I mean at the end of the day you're gonna have to deal with the judicial system. So you know what I'm saying.
I'm not necessarily talking about that either. I'm just saying like you know, people grow and like deal with different things, and you're not gonna know the same thing, you know, in the future as you do now. So you're going
right.
based
But I
on
think that's also a part of growing too.
yeah, right.
That's a part
That's what
of,
I was about to say. That's what I was
you know
about
what I'm
to say.
saying,
Yeah.
that like
It
you
is.
have to, like you got to crawl. You had at a certain point you had to crawl before you walk. You didn't know, you know what I'm saying, that you just needed to crawl before you walk. It's like life is like a journey, and those decisions, like you're of course you're the decisions you make now, you're not sure, you know what I'm saying, like you're not sure if those are the best decisions until the future happens. So it was either a good decision or it was a bad decision. But within that moment, you're making the decision. And
Yeah.
that was the free will that you were talking about.
It's your decision.
Exactly. You are
Right.
making that decision. You know what I'm saying? And that's powerful, yo. Because it's like that, like you got to realize like you ultimately are responsible for you at the end of the day. Stop blaming everybody else for what the fuck is happening in your life.
Right.
It's you. You know what I'm saying? You got to make those decisions, and it's and yeah.
Yeah, and then even to go a little bit, or to try to go a little bit further, because I know y'all done hit on it, but I think it's also just so even if that opportunity, as we already talked about, maximizing that opportunity for yourself, but even if that opportunity passes you by, I think it's our duty, it's supposed to be our duty as like humans to be able to pass along that information. So it might not have you might have learned from that lesson, but then even still, you already know everybody else or you know other people are going to go through that situation. So it might be that you either can, you know, somebody under your wing or share your knowledge and just touch one person, maybe one or two people with that same influence that could possibly change the outlook or landscape for somebody else's life, and that might be what the true purpose on what you went through. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you could have went through the worst decision that you ever made, but just by sharing how it affected you and what have you could benefit somebody else. And then also, I do want to say sometimes that a dream deferred, I think it's a dream deferred doesn't necessarily mean that a dream is deterred or a dream is denied. I'm sorry. So it's like, just because like, and even as we talk about, like some of the times that everything you go through always leads you to a further point. So it could be like substance abuse that could lead you to be a freaking substance abuse counselor at a later date, just because of like everything you went through allows you the opportunity to talk to people that have or are currently abusing substances, and that allows you to relate to them that much better, and you can be the best person at your job just off whatever situations you may have occurred.
Hey Al, when you said that should remind me. I don't know if anybody watched that show on HBO, Euphoria, but they just came out with like a new, it's kind of like a bridge episode to the next season, and like the dialogue, it's just her and her like step, what do you call it, 12-step program, like, you know, person, her sponsor, just sitting across from a table from each other. And it's talking about shit just like that. Just it's like a real ass dialogue, and I recommend everybody watch that shit.
And
I heard of the show.
What you were saying earlier, when you was talking about how like what if you don't even know, and Brian, you hit on it, but it's the truth is all part, like the not knowing is what, you know, what helps you grow. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you're in a situation, you may not be equipped, but you made a decision. Whether you made the right decision or wrong decision, you still gonna learn. You still gonna grow because you got either positive feedback to be like, okay, this worked, I'm gonna continue this, or you got negative feedback that didn't work, let me try something different. Either way, you still going to expand. So I think that, you know, that's just all the part of the life process, man. But you know, I think the key, you gotta be willing to you know, be open to the fact that you might not know, that you could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's where the space for growth comes in, you know. So
I think you gotta take that time to reflect though on
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You gotta be real with yourself, man. You gotta be real about your flaws, your faults. Like, you gotta be real with yourself, man. That's where it all starts at. You know what I'm saying? The more excuses you try to make for circumstances in your life, the more that shit's going to continue to keep happening, because you know you're not taking accountability for everything that goes on in your life. You know what I'm saying? That's how you empower yourself, when you take accountability for your shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say even like us having this damn podcast is like how we met in college and all the decisions that we made to get to this point. You see what I'm saying? Us meeting in college, and you know what I'm saying, like all of those decisions that led up to us. But like, you know what I'm saying, but as like we like always like kept that energy, and like we have like, you know what I'm saying, like a brotherhood, and like, you know what I'm saying, so like the decisions that we made and the energy that we were putting out, like it's not a coincidence
That's like
we
both.
chose.
Though. That's like
Huh?
both. That's like both, because like that's ain't that like fate
And that's why I started off by saying it's like one and the same.
yeah, that's like destiny, because like fate, all right, destiny, like we because like Marcus in the previous episode, you was saying like how many niggas that we know went to school with didn't make it through the first fucking semester, not graduate. How many niggas through the first semester? If none of us made it through the first semester, we wouldn't be here right now having a podcast reflecting on all the times we had to get here where we at. So
Right.
that's all I'm saying. That's crazy.
Yeah.